I am Hermes, messenger of the gods. For the human instrument to be an effective channel for generating unity consciousness, the following components need to be functioning properly. 1. The mind needs the balance of the divine feminine and sacred masculine energies, the balance of action and emotion, logic and intuition. 2. The heart existing within oneness, within the singularity point, needs emotional clarity and honesty for that oneness to be experienced, thus leaving the confines of dualism. And 3. The DNA network of the body needs to be healthy and unlocked from our physical choices and our divine intentions. Let's start with the first. We each carry masculine and feminine energies, and these can be represented within the right and left brain. It is the sacred union of the left and right-brained principles which allows us to experience true wisdom. As a collective, we've been operating mostly in the masculine, and therefore, what is manifested is an overly rigid system which purely defends logic, reason, and overall left-brained principles, but heavily suppresses the divine feminine, the spirit of empathy, compassion, and divine connectivity. Scarcity-based thinking is what happens when we focus too much on masculine principles. Scarcity is the mindset that there will never be enough, whether it's food, emotions, money, friendship. And as a result, actions and thoughts come from a place of lack and fear, the very vibrational signature which the energy extraction system is predicated on. And this scarcity mindset has the possibility of collectively transforming a race into one of artificial machine intelligence. I'm not literally saying humanity is AI, but through the scarcity, toxic masculine mindset, we can devolve into automatons with no ability to tap into the creative essence of spirit. This is the mind virus which has infected the majority of the population, thinking solely within the confines of linear time and space. The masculine can only see that which is organized and carefully defined, so its overemphasis leads to the destruction of imaginative thought, spontaneity, intuition, and visualization. All of this is crucial to achieve balance. At the same time, we don't want to be so far within feminine principles that we disregard action, logic, and organization, because that leads to chaos and a similar imprisonment of the mind, where one is a slave to emotion and reaction-based thinking. So, we must blend the two, first by recognizing the feminine through universal respect and compassion, then using that compassion to take divine action and organize our world in the way which expresses it. When we've merged with right-brain principles, we inevitably instill abundance into our hearts and minds. When operating from this perspective, that the universe provides according to our intentions without restraint, we can finally leave the confines of fear, of scarcity, and take active measures to ensure abundance within ourselves and our environment. Abundance is the natural consciousness of a complete being. It's the state all of nature operates under. Keep in mind, this realm is based first and foremost on the state of collective consciousness. So by accepting abundance as a fundamental truth, we inevitably form the conditions holographically, which allows reality to uncover that abundance microcosmically, and thus macrocosmically. The second component of achieving wholeness is realizing the oneness of everything through recognition and activation of the heart. We are transitioning from a love of power society to a power of love society. This is the new earth. It's the end result of the opening of our collective hearts, realizing that fragmented dualistic consciousness is the ultimate sustainer of suffering. And as I've mentioned in prior videos, the heart is the seat of the soul and of the higher self. There's no separation. It's the source of our electromagnetic fields, and its emphasis creates the most powerful realities. For the 0 point contains the origin and convergence point of our toroidal fields. So it's only when we're ignoring this wellspring of warmth, genuineness, and healing that we fall victim to the illusion of dualism. This is why centeredness is vital. And this does correspond to the masculine and feminine, for the true merging occurs when we listen to our hearts and realize this non-dual state. If one is not living with an open heart, then the electromagnetic field literally becomes less powerful, and because of this, conscious manifestation decreases, and thus one becomes susceptible to influences and energy extraction. Love has been marketed as something we feel when we enjoy something, or when we hold someone in high regard, but this is an oversimplification. Love isn't an emotion or an attitude. It's the innate expression of care and passion that becomes a complete, healthy respect for all life when one eliminates dualism. The third component of achieving wholeness is the activation of our divine DNA through intentions and healthy living. DNA is not just here to express genes, which express components of our physical and mental health. DNA literally creates wormholes. Wormholes are connections, sort of like tunnels, between different areas in time-space and between parallel timelines existing within that time-space. Timelines are constantly weaving our individual and collective realities. There are infinite timelines because there is an infinite trajectory of possibilities which can be experienced. The way in which we funnel information from parallel timelines is through the wormholes created by activating specific portions of our DNA. The more our previously dormant divine DNA is activated, the more synchronicities become apparent, the more aligned we become with our intuition. So DNA is woven through us just as timelines are woven through the multiverse. This is the divine coil of all creation. And activation of that dormant information aligns us with our true purpose, which is at this point to merge the unconscious and conscious polarities, so our reality can be manifested into a golden age of expansion, of abundance, and not of scarcity. This is why there has been a great attempt to mutate humanity's DNA through GMOs, vaccines, and pollution. But even so, all of this is no match for our intentions. When we align our intentions towards unity, paired with our accessibility to the heart and merging of the feminine and masculine, we send this complete information holographically to our DNA, which in turn accesses information through these wormholes from future harmonious timelines and passes that creation further into reality. Many of us are slowly becoming more synchronistic with each other. Some of us even are experiencing mild forms of telepathy and divine communication. This is the result of accessing information through our DNA. In the past, we were told of junk DNA, and even presently, scientists still cannot figure out what the majority of DNA does. And this is because they've been looking at it through a materialist reductionist perspective. This dormant DNA is activated through focused intention. So during this ascensional process, as we heal ourselves and thus the collective, we are actively merging timelines without having to consciously do it, because our DNA is the great multidimensional connector. DNA also responds to what we put into our physical vessels. There are many cleansing protocols out there, such as fasting, urine therapy, fruit cleansing. There's an infinite amount of ways to purge the deep-seated toxicity within our cells. These cleansing protocols can jumpstart us onto a healthier lifestyle where we consume fresh, whole, organic, clean foods. After all, even our physical choices are representative of our spiritual state. When we become conscious of these three elements which I've just outlined, we can then walk with determination and courage, knowing that we have the tools, knowing that within we hold all of the truth that's required to creating effective and meaningful change. Thank you for watching. I love you all. I am Hermes, messenger of the gods, at your service.